Yo, what up, doe? Welcome back to the shop. Your boy Scrappy, the belt maker here. The belt guy, as they call me in a lot of places. Back here in the shop, we were doing a little project. We were doing a modification. You guys missed the first two parts. Check out our YouTube channel, Studio 57 Radio YouTube channel, and the J-Dubs Facebook page, and you can see the other parts, the other two parts. The first part was modifying these plastic. This is a Toys R Us WWE belt. We modified the sides to take the shop plates, so you can put your shop plates on there. We decided that the generic backing behind the center plate was not happening, so we wanted to put something with more tooling and leather, make it look really good. And we went with a music motif. We put music notes all throughout the texture there, and so that's going to go right here as our backdrop. So a little customized thing here, and we're gonna put all this together. Now, when we took all this apart, they had plastic, like rubberized plastic rings that held these things on, and we took those lips off. We took those rings off and then filed the edges down so we could get these plates off. And so now we have to reattach. So what I did is, like any old guy has, I have a garage with screws, jars and jars of screws and hardware and things like that. So that's the first thing I did was make sure I had enough screws that would fit in there and wouldn't be too long. And I got all my screws together. In this case, I took every screw and took the points off because they had some real sharp points. And if I take one turn too far, maybe it might poke through plastic. I don't know. Didn't want to take a chance. So for me, I just kind of took the points off. But they should be plenty short enough and still long enough to grab, but I just didn't want to take any chances. So I did that. I also found some screws for my plates, fit those side plates, and going to have to accompany those with small washers, but that's a small price to pay. Everything's black. You won't be able to see it on the back of the thing. Last you saw this belt, the strap was black. So we did the red and blue split motif, and we're going to, and we just kind of flip-flopped the centerpiece, and kind of that's what we went with. But same thing, we used the same thing we did with this here, we did with the strap here. We taped it off. We put the acrylic down, and then came back with some Resolene and protected it. I was unable to peel the tip off of here. It's plastic and stripped out, and I would have had to break it off to get it off, so we decided to just tape it off so it didn't get painted and leave it on there. And so came out pretty good. We left the snap boxes black because I left the back black, and then we're going to take the red swoosh that's under the logo, and we're going to paint that black too, and that'll kind of tie everything in. And then you won't have that red on a red backdrop with that swoosh in the center plate. So just artistically thinking, that's kind of the way I went with it. So we're going to start putting these plates back on. So what I did is I've been using these clothespins to just kind of hold everything together in place so that it's easier to set down. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to cheat. I'm going to take, and when I put this down, I'm going to actually attach the center plate through the backing first, because actually I should probably take it out of there right now. Let's see how that works here as my layers are coming apart. Trying to feed these through the holes, because I'm not even close. Let's do this. This guy's weighing me down, so let's do this. Get all those lined up. Get you in there. There we go. Get you in there. Get you in there. So now I'm going to set this plate in here, and I'm going to go back. Maybe I won't. Maybe I'll put the plates on first and then drop this on. I was thinking I'd be slick, but you know, as you do things in real time, I think this might be better to, we'll just screw this thing on. So we'll get this out of our way here. We'll flip this up and running some screws in. All right, so we got the side plates on, the bars on. We're going to put on the center plate. So a couple of tips before I show you the cool little extra that I'm going to do here. When you take this all apart, like we did in the past videos, make sure you take, if you can, take the posts and sand them down, file them down, because they're going to protrude out further. So you want them to recess in a touch so that your screws draw in tight. So, so you want to bring those down a little bit. And then when you do that, make sure that your screws are short enough, because anything can punch through or dimple. I dimpled one here, but I got lucky it didn't go through, and I was able to push it right back, and no harm, no foul, but it could have been catastrophic. So you have to be careful of those kinds of things. And you want to use a flat, not the flat top screw, but the regular rounded head. I know the flat top, it would be nice to sink that in and have it flush, but the rounded ones do a lot better as far as holding tight and looking good. So went with a black set of black screws because with the black backing, you can barely see they're there. So, well, you can see the light shining through the other ones. But so now that brings us back to doing this. Now, I didn't take the posts down on the center plate because I added this leather, and it's got a certain thickness to it, and so it didn't have prior to doing this. So I thought, yeah, this is all fun and dandy, and this thing's going to look neat, and it's customized, and I've got the music notes here, and I got the red and the blue, and I'm going to do like some like Tupac and Biggie plates or something like that for this thing, and then I'll hang this up in my studio. So I think that's what this one will be for, and we'll do the custom side plates at a later date. I'll show you how to make them, measure them, and put them together, and we'll do some Biggie and Tupac plates for this belt, and we'll hang this up. But I wanted to do something else really cool, and I had stuff laying around the house because every time I go out and about, or I find a good deal on something, or I used to be a Wish junkie back in the day. Well, I shouldn't say back in the day. Wish hasn't been around that long, but just probably 6 months ago, 8 months ago, where I was just getting, if it said free or real cheap, and you're just paying ship, I was just buying stuff that was silly. So along the way, for about 50 cents, I bought these guys right here. Now what these are, see how flexy they are? They are LED lights, okay? So these LED lights, super simple wiring hookup, and you can put them anywhere. I'll kind of show you down here on the big cam. See how flexible they are? You can kind of do whatever you want with these things, okay? So they come with a sticky background. You just peel and stick, and you're ready to rock. So I did something a little silly, but I thought it would be fun, and I'll show you. Let me get the center plate here. So we got our center plate from this thing, and as you saw in the earlier videos, this thing's like hollow plastic. It's not really gemstones in there. It's just hollow clear plastic with a silver backing that causes it to be reflective. So what we did is, while we had it apart in layers, I snuck these guys, these snaky, bendy lights, all down inside here, where I could fit them. I drilled the necessary holes, and we ran the wire out the back. Now I got some tape here I'm gonna have to peel off. It was kind of holding stuff in place while I was getting things ready. So, but most of it you won't see, so I'm only gonna peel off what's exposed once I get this thing mounted and in place. So just a general idea. And so I got this. I got my little 9-volt battery attachment and a 9-volt battery. And once I feed all this through here and get everything wired up, this, I'm trying to put it in a place where you guys can see it. This will be the result. Let me try to get this thing touched up because I have to solder the thing on after. So, and of course, it doesn't come through for shit on camera. Let me do it in the dark maybe. Let's start killing lights. Let's see what happens when I get it darker in here. Maybe that shows a little bit better. Yes, no, maybe so. You see, it is, oh, there you go. Yeah, you can see it a little bit. It is, we have some blue LED actions for the W there, for the WW logo. And we're going to pump this thing behind the strap. We'll use some good old-fashioned Velcro to mount it to the back of the strap after we feed this thing through. So if you notice, I got a couple extra holes kind of running through this thing. So what I'm going to do is I've got to undo these. It was just, these were all hooked up for the testing process. So I got to decide which ones are going where. Gotta undo them. Feed the proper ones through the proper holes. There we go. So now I'm going to put this on this way first. We're going to kind of go from there. So I'll get these off of here. I'm going to take this top set and go through this upper hole, the upper hole of holy holes. Don't say that in front of your children. Okay, so push that through there. Then we got the lower ones to go through. Yeah, oh, yeah, nice and snug. Perfect. Perfect punch size. I was wondering if it was going to be too small, because you got to fit these multiple wires through there, but I didn't want it to be too big either, where you could see it. I'm trying to keep all this stuff hidden. So I had to be strategic with where we put the holes and get this thing through. Zip, zip, zippity doo doo. Okay. Well, that seems to be lining up and giving us a potential pretty plate, potentially pretty plate. Get that over. This the rest of the way through. There we go. There we go. See, now you can't see it. I got it hidden back there. So now I'm going to take and slide these through this hole. So now we have got our center plate back on. Looks pretty good. I like the way this thing looks. We have a couple more things yet to do to finish this thing up. We're going to put solder this thing on the back after I go ahead and paint this thing black. So use a little bit of these acrylics right here. I'm going to put this on here. Just a little touch up, make this thing look better, and then we'll put the battery on it and call it an upgrade. Call it an upgrade. All right, let's get that. Wonderful, wonderful. This little piece of paper here and keep from making a mess on the belt. So as soon as that sucker dries up, we'll go ahead and put we'll solder the good old battery posty post on, and we'll have ourselves a glowy belt. But it came out pretty good. Definitely an upgrade from what we had prior to this. So once this dries, that black swoosh dries up, we'll go ahead and solder that thing on, and we'll give it one last test, one last look over. This is where it all started. It's just a little room. Simple little craft project turned into a full-on belt making company.